Wasting money on cures. Forgot how to fix myself. They say that time is free. Then why is it so precious? Oh, I'll say memories in my head, like Polaroids on walls. They remind you to look ahead. Time is running out. Time is running out. Lately I've lost my track. I've sailed the deepest seas, hoping to find something to bring back better times. Oh, I'll say memories in my head, like Polaroids on walls. They remind you to look ahead. But time is running out. 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 Time is running. Time is running out. But time is running out. What if my best days are over? They can't be over. They can't be over now. Time is running out. What if my best days are over? They can't be over now. Time is running out. Time is running out. Time is running out.
Time is running out? I don't think so. Loads of time left for A-Level Business students getting ready for paper one. I know quite a few of you have already got a paper in the bag, so to speak, perhaps a bit of geography, obviously economics tomorrow, maybe one or two more. But tonight is our latest live stream for Edexcel A-Level Business. And well, we've still got a couple, two or three more for Edexcel coming up, including our warm-up next Monday. But tonight we're focusing on theme 1 and theme 4, content ahead of paper 1. And I'm joined by my two Edexcel buddies, Graham and Mike. Good evening.
Evening, Jim. Evening, Graham.
Evening, Mike. Evening, Jim.
Good to see you both. And we've got about 30 to 35 minutes. Leah was asking in the live chat. Welcome back, by the way, Leah. How long the session will be. Well, we tried to tailor the content for these sessions so that they don't drag on and on and on like economic sessions used to back in the day. So about 30 minutes, 35 minutes or so. And covering a variety of topics, Graham. What have we got on the menu tonight?
We've got some multiple choice questions. We've got some calculation questions. We've got some real focus on application in today's session. We're going to really work on application. So, and also we've got a new style of live stream where you will see our faces throughout this time. So, Kaizen approach to our live streams. This live stream will take about half an hour. Yeah, okay. And I agree. Mike's beard is looking resplendent. It is. Should we get started?
Yeah, as people are joining us, we normally do a little warm-up activity. A number of people in the AQA session said, why are you doing this? Is it on the exam? No, it's not.
Yeah, I was quite surprised at that comment. If you don't like it, don't do it. So this is called the big reveal. It's just a warm-up. Don't take it too seriously. So there's a name of a business here. Funny, I used to work for this business, actually, a long time ago. It was formed in 1979. So if you think, I know a business that was formed in 1979 that Graham used to work at, well, type that in the chat window. No, not many. Let's go look at clue number 2. It was first stores in Croydon in 1981, so it was formed in 1979. And we used a larger font for that clue to really emphasize its point. The first store was in Croydon in 1981. It's not Tesco, it's not McDonald's. I've never worked in McDonald's or Tesco. Should we have a look at clue number 3? Now, it grew rapidly through inorganic growth with the takeover of a business owned by Ladbrokes. What's the odds on that? Hey. So, what do we think? It's not Aldi. Oh, do you tell you what? We're in the right ballpark, though. You know, we're not far. We're in that sort of area.
Are we in the right retail park? Is that what you're saying?
Unbelievably, we've got a right answer. We got a right answer
Yeah.
straight away. Egret. Argos and Habitat have concessions in their stores. It's not Pound Stretcher. Yeah, lots of right answers coming in now. Let's look at clue number 5. Has 160 stores selling a range of DIY products. There was someone way before that. I think it was Egret, if I don't know if I pronounced that handle correctly. It is indeed. Should we have a look? It is indeed. Yeah, that was first in there. Homebase. Yeah, it is. I used to work for Homebase. I also, Jim, used to work for a rival of Homebase. Now, I'm not allowed on the live stream to tell you the name of it, but I can tell you its initials.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
B&Q. B&Q.
Okay.
So, let's look at some MCQs. So, MCQs. So, we got, I think, 4 or 5 of these. Please type your answers in the chat window. So, we got due to increased competition in one of its markets, a business has decided to expand by selling its existing products overseas. Difficult question to start off with. This is an example of a pull factor and diversification, a pull factor and market development, a push factor and market development, or a push factor and diversification. So, obviously, looking at the clues, it looks like it's a Ansof's matrix style question. Now, remember, Ansof's matrix appears in theme 3 and theme 4 because theme 4 takes a global look at the Ansof matrix. So, what do we think? So, we got some answers coming through. Is it so? Lots going first. B and C. Shall we reveal the answer? It is a push factor and it is market development. Now, remember, push and pull factors come under conditions of prompt trade. Theme 4, so a push factor would be something that pushes a business to maybe, look to grow. So, for example, saturated market, increased competition. Whereas a pull factor would be something like spreading risk and the pull of economies of scale. It is market development because it's an existing product overseas. So think of a type of question you may get in your exam, assess, pull factors or something like that, could come up. So make sure you know the difference between push and pull factors and also the different elements of the Ansoff matrix. Okay, let's look at question number 2. So PED here, after reducing the price of one of its products, innovatively titled Product A, by 5%, the quantity demanded increased by 2%. What is the price elasticity of demand of Product A? What do we think? So, after reducing the price of one of its products by 5%, Product A, the quantity demanded increased by 2%. What is the price elasticity of demand of Product A? Now, this is causing a little bit of confusion here. We're split, aren't we? Now, we seem to be split between A and B. Now, one of those is right. What do we think? Shall we reveal the answer? It is B, minus 0.4. Now, we could work out really that it was, even without doing the workings out, that it was price inelastic because the quantity demanded increased by a smaller amount. Now remember, if you got A, you got the formula the wrong way around. That's so remember, it is quantity demanded divided by the change, percentage change in quantity demand divided by percentage change in price. So if you got that the wrong way around, you would have got minus 2.5. It was minus 0.4. Well done, everyone who got that one right. Let's have a look at question number 3. So the product of a business, this one's called product B, has a low market share in a high growth market. In order to increase sales, the business is considering changing the price of product B to be more in line with its rivals. This is an example of, is it a question mark and competitive pricing? Is it a dog and competitive pricing? Is it a dog and psychological pricing? Or is it a cash cow and penetration pricing? It's definitely one of those. Is it A, B, is it C, or is it D? Boston Matrix can cause a little bit of confusion among students, often confused with the Ansoff Matrix, the Boston Matrix. So lots answers coming in now. Yeah, quite a straightforward one. Well, only straightforward if you know the answer. Should we reveal what the answer is, Jim? And of course, yeah, it is a question mark, low market share in a high growth market, and it is competitive pricing. Now, pricing strategies usually I examined in the lines of you maybe assess the value of competitive pricing to a business such as. Now, remember, all assess questions require balance. If it's a 10 or 12 mark question, you must have a supported judgment at the end of it. Okay, question 4. So 2 statements here, 2 statements. All you have to do is decide whether the statements are true or false. So statement 1, the record of a country's transactions with the rest of the world is known as a balance of payments. Is that true or false? Or a joint venture is where 2 businesses join together to become one business. Is that true or is that false? So have a minute. So is the balance of payments a record of a country's transactions with the rest of the world? Is a joint venture where 2 businesses join together to become one business? Let's have a look at the answers coming in. So again, we are split, aren't we, between the majority. You seem to be going for D. Some going for B. So someone's put B or D. Yeah, well, you know, unfortunately, we do need to choose one. Should we reveal the answer? It was B. So the balance of payments is a record of a country's transactions never being examined. The balance of payments. A joint venture also has come up, global joint ventures. A joint venture is where 2 businesses join together to become one business. That's false. It's a merger. So make sure you know the difference between takeovers, mergers, and joint ventures. Okay, let's look at question number 5 before I hand you over to Mike. So according to Maslow, pay is a hygiene factor. Is that true or false? A product with an income elasticity of demand coefficient of -2 is classed as a normal good. So read those statements, decide whether they are true or whether they are false. Now, for those who are following us on our Instagram page, you'll know we're doing a lot around income elasticity of demand and price elasticity of demand. Because it is a frequently examined topic area. Income elasticity of demand, although this is theme 1 and 4, is really ripe for paper 3 when we're talking about maybe luxury cars like Aston Martin and Jaguar, such as Aston Martin and Jaguar. So should we reveal the answer to this one? Yeah, both are false. So according to Maslow, pay is a hygiene factor. That is false. It's Hertzberg. Argued about hygiene factors and motivators, and it's not a normal good. We would class that as an inferior good. So an inferior good is where the quantity demanded would fall after an increase in income. Remember, in PED we ignore the minus. We do not do that for income elasticity of demand. Remember, so we've got Shelia, a negative yet is an inferior good. Well done, it is that. Spot on. So great stuff. Excellent answers there. Lots of love in the chat window for Mike as well. So let's put you out your misery with a question from Mike.
Thanks, G. Yeah, I've waited my time. I've seen some of the comments. Thanks for those. Calculation countdown here. Get your calculators ready, please, and tread carefully with this one, because we've got tyre supplier Wheelie Good, who estimate that they will sell 10,000 budget tyres this year. The selling price per tyre is £45. The estimated YED of budget tyres is minus 1.5, and income in the local area is forecast to increase by 4% next year. So your task then is to calculate the estimated sales revenue of budget tyres next year. Estimated sales revenue of budget tyres next year. Let's start the clock, please, Jim. Great stuff. Well, that was a minute. Don't panic too much if you weren't able to do that in a minute, because in an exam situation, you'll allow yourself a little bit longer. But answers starting to come through in the chat window. We're asked to work out the estimated sales revenue of budget tyres next year, and we're basing that on an income elasticity of demand coefficient of minus 1.5. Answers coming through. Few more seconds if you are still working. There's some agreement there in the chat window, and I can tell you that I have seen the correct answer there. Shall we reveal it, please, Jim? So the estimated sales revenue next year, £423,000. Well done if you got that, especially well done if you managed to put the pound sign. Recognise that it is, of course, an amount of money. So the percentage decrease in quantity demanded next year. Why is it a decrease? Even though incomes are rising, the income elasticity coefficient there is minus 1.5. So it's another inferior good. It's an inferior good, and therefore quantity demand is going to decrease. Minus 1.5 multiplied by 4 is 6%. So we know that the quantity demanded is going to fall by 6%. Multiply the existing quantity demanded by 0.94, we get 9,400 tyres, and then multiply that by the selling price to get £423,000. Really well done if you got that, especially if you did that in a minute, because as I say, in an exam, you would probably allow yourself a good bit longer. G, I'll hand back to you for our next activity.
Cheers. It's important not to get deflated if you didn't get that one right. That was a tough question. So the application spinner, can we move on to the next slide, please? Perfect. So what we've got here is we've got a range of businesses here, and we've got a statement, how might market segmentation benefit? And we're going to finish that stem with a different business, and it's completely random. We've got no idea what it's going to land on, which means it's as much fun for Jim, Mike, and I as it is for you. And I'm getting really excited here because I just do not know what it's going to land on. Shall we spin the wheel and find out? Let's spin it. I'm hoping it's Nissan. Big fan of Nissan. Oh, Greg's. It's Greg. So what I'd like you to do is in the chat window is maybe type in, and if you were at our workshops, you will be familiar with what we call such as seasoning. Can we use a bit of such as seasoning here? It's not rigged. It's certainly not rigged. So in terms of Greg's, how might market segmentation benefit Greg? So what we want is we want some application here. So this could be a 4-mark question, couldn't it, in paper 1? Explain how market segmentation could benefit a business such as Greg's. So remember, if it was a 4-mark question, you'd 1 mark for knowledge, 2 marks application, 1 mark for analysis. Remember, 4 mark questions, we need 2 specific strands of application. So that is superb there, Jacob, and a great photograph there. I was wondering why I'm not on it, but maybe I took that one. So maybe I was behind the camera. So find specific customers to target new products, such as vegan sausage rolls. For Graham, yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm one of those. I'm one of those vegans. So yeah, so we got classic foods for older people. Yeah, maybe like scones and things like that. So we got vegans, allergen substitutes. Chill station there with there's some superb application here. There was one I'm just trying to go through the chat window because the level of answers was absolutely superb. Greg's could use market segmentation to understand demographics, so it can understand their younger customers, are more likely to get public transport for work. You could develop that further. Lots of really, really good application there about this one here. Launch new products as well to increasing amount of vegans as well as families. Brilliant. Sam Wicker's there. I'm just looking at that chat window. They will be able to launch new products such as vegan sausage rolls as well as kids meals to attract. Yeah, so that's on screen. Brilliant stuff there. Really, really well done. Let's have a look at what we got, and I think your answers are better, to be fair. So it could allow, remember that's what we call a hedging word, it could allow Greg to develop different food products for different segments of the market, such as seasoning, more plant-based food for their vegan customers. Also, it may allow them to compete more effectively with other food outlets that sell plant-based food, such as Pret. So we really got the idea there of such as seasoning. So remember, it's okay knowing the knowledge and the benefits of market segmentation. What is really crucial, you can apply that to the business in the extract. And I think we did really, really well there. Mike, over to you.
Thanks, G. We're going to do another calculation countdown question. This time it's based on market share. So here's the scenario. Last year, the sales revenue of a business was £500,000. This gave them a 5% share of the market. This year, the business estimates that their sales revenue will be £600,000 and the market they operate in will grow by 2%. Here's the question. Calculate the estimated market share of the business next year to 2 decimal places. I think this is worthy of a whole minute. So let's start the countdown, please, Jim. Answer in the chat window, please. And again, there's a minute, which is ambitious in an exam situation. So don't be alarmed if you haven't quite got to an answer yet. Lots of answers coming through, and unsurprisingly, a range of different responses in the chat window. I've seen the correct answer, and it's good to see that in some cases, even if you didn't get the answer right, you are able to give it to 2 decimal places as requested. Remember, with calculation questions, it's important to show the process, show your workings and how you got to the final answer. That way, even if the final answer is wrong, you can still hopefully get some credit for your workings. So let's reveal the answer, please, Jim. Lots of people getting this right. The answer is, of course, 5.88%. I think somebody with the handle AS was the first and in very, very quickly. And lots more coming through as well. Here are our workings. The size of the market last year was 500,000. So therefore, that works out at the sales of the business last year were 500,000 for a 5% share. So that works out as a total market of £10 million. Total market value £10 million. The estimated size of the market this year, it's increasing by 2%. So we multiply by 1.02 and we get 10,200,000 as the market value for this year. The sales of the business, 600,000 divided by the total sales in the market times 100 gives us 5.88%. Well done if you got that right. If you didn't, hopefully you can see from that where you went wrong. And with luck, some of it, you got some of those stages as well. Let's go on to a slightly different activity. It's called Give Me Two. And that's because we want you to give us two responses in the chat window. Your choice as to whether you do them individually or whether you do them both together. But we've got Margot and Rita looking to set up a takeaway business in their local area, and they're in the process of carrying out some market research. Margot and Rita setting up a takeaway pizza business, and they're carrying out some market research. Here's what we would like you to do, please. 2 ways in which market research may help Margot and Rita. So 2 ways, ideally, building on what G's done before, building on the skill of application, if you can. So Margot and Rita, 2 ways in which market research may help them. There we are. Start the timer, please, Jim. Great stuff. Really impressive, the volume of answers coming through in the chat window. Particularly impressive, those responses which are tailored and applied to this scenario. And Jim's doing a great job of putting some of the best ones up there. There's lots coming through, so if yours isn't there, don't be alarmed. Lots and lots of good answers. There's one from Harry and from Leah. Help identify what toppings even the local market would like to see, and price their pizzas accordingly based on incomes. So that's just one example. Lots of other people talking about pizza toppings. It's enough to make you hungry. But here are the ones that we came up with, which, as G suggested before, maybe not as good as some of yours. So first of all, it may allow them to assess how much competition there is in the local area. That's a generic benefit of market research. This could help them or allow them to set a competitive price for their pizzas. There's a little bit of application, and help them with their product range. For example, if they should sell vegan pizzas or other related food such as burgers and chips. So very much applied to the Margot and Rita scenario. Secondly, market research can allow them to find out if there is sufficient demand to offer a delivery service for their pizzas and side orders, and how much customers would be willing to pay for this service. Lots of good examples in the chat window there. A couple of examples on the screen. Gee, I think we're going to do another Give Me Two, aren't we?
Yeah, some of them answers were really difficult to top. I think I'm picking up one particularly. You talked about opportunities for growth, such as adding additional foods like wings and chips, which was very much what we had at point 1 there. So we really got the understanding of moving away from generic answers of what Mike said to some really, really useful application. Now, I think it's the last activity here. So again, it's a bit of a paper 3 focus. Remember, paper 3 synoptic. This is theme 1 and 4, but entrepreneur to leader is part of theme 1. So we've got Quick Fit, which is a car servicing and repair business. It was opened in 1971 by Sir Tom Farmer in Edinburgh. The business grew quickly, mainly through inorganic growth, to become the world's largest independent tyre and car repair business with over 2,000 centres operating in 18 different countries. So moving from entrepreneur to leader, remember, as part of the Paper 3 pre-release, we'll be producing on Paper 3, specifically mentions entrepreneurs in the car industry. This links specifically to theme 1. Should we see what our question is? So what we're after is 2 difficulties that Sir Tom Farmer may have experienced when moving from entrepreneur to leader. Now, this is a difficult question. It's easy to get the theory about the difficulties. It's the application where, and this has been examined 2 times before in the case of Ryanair, particularly Ryanair question about the difficulties of moving from entrepreneur to leader, and the application was the area that students really struggled in. So you've got 1 minute. Can we think of 2 difficulties that Sir Tom may have experienced when moving from an entrepreneur to leader? Particularly, we want the application. Jim, for the final time, start the music, please. Yeah, some brilliant answers. I really like that one on screen there. So we've got a bit of theory there about maybe moving from a different management or leadership style. And we've got some such as seasoning mechanics there, which really roots it in the context. So what was coming through really strongly is our knowledge and understanding about, maybe the difficulties in delegating, emotional intelligence, and needing to listen to others. The difficulty with a question such as this, it is the... it's the application. Again, great work there, Jacob. We're talking about mechanics and replacing brake pads and things like that. Should we have a look at, there's one final one on screen there. Another difficulty is being able to delegate responsibilities to some of his workers, such as giving sales power to the local quick fit. So there was some really, really good application there. Shall we see what we had? We've got a picture of Sir Tom there. So one difficulty may be the need to delegate. That's our theory. He may have been used, that's a hedging word, to making all the decisions, such as recruiting the mechanics to work in the service centres, whereas a leader, he may have needed to delegate this to other managers within the business. So previously, when that first one was opened, no doubt Tom was maybe heavily involved in the recruitment process, but as a leader, he has to delegate that to others. And another one here is strategic decisions. Tom may have been used to making quicker and short-term decisions, such as what price to charge for car repairs. But as a leader, he may have needed to take longer-term decisions, such as which countries to open new quick-fit service centres in. So we can see how we're just moving away from our theory into our application to get a much more developed response. So, make sure you're prepared for questions such as that. Great answers, everyone there. I'm sure you were. Are mark schemes exhaustive? So the thing is with mark schemes, no, any credible answer will be given credit. If it applies to the question, you'll be given credit. So if you're looking at mark schemes as a student, they are just what we call indicative content. That is just points that students could make. I wouldn't focus on that. I would be focusing on what we call the level of response grids. That's how examiners mark. Examiners look at the level of response grids, read your question, or read your answer, and decide what level it will be based on the overall response. Do not get bogged down by the indicative content of what students could say. If it's credit, if it relates to it, you'll get the marks. Great stuff there. Absolutely great stuff. I'm sure you'll agree. There was someone there, John T, kept messaging me about tweeting me. Did I see the Ahmad goal? Well, I was there. Yeah, of course I was there. No, I wasn't at Luton yesterday. My daughter's doing her GCSEs, so I need to be here to sail the good ship Prior through the GCSE waters. So I never went last night, unfortunately. Or fortunately. Great answers there, Jim and Mike. I'm sure you'll agree. Some really strong application there. Some really, really strong application. Superb stuff.
We've got some more live streams coming up Friday and over the weekend. Graham, well, I'm sure will give us more information, and we will add those to the YouTube channel. So if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll get a notification as soon as they're live. We're going to be looking at some tricky topics that are in fact common to Edexcel as well as the other main exam boards. Graham, I don't know whether you want to say more about that, but that's our plan for the next 2 or 3 days. And then we've got our warm-ups, haven't we, on Monday afternoon / evening, one specifically for Edexcel, where we'll go through a bit of a nice gentle warm-up before paper one.
Yeah, so what we're planning to do is I did a little video on our, have I mentioned Instagram? We've got a really, really vibrant Instagram page where we ask students to comment on areas that they were struggling with. So we've collated those, and what we've decided to do is run a little live stream maybe this Friday evening, maybe 5:30, 6 on tricky topics that are non-exam board specific, but could come up on Edexcel. And then we've also got our warm-up. So yeah, we'll post the lives on Instagram. Yeah, I'll do a little video of the dates for those. Yeah, so we're going to be doing some on Friday, and we'll do also the paper one warm-up on Monday. There was just something I just wanted to pick up there, because there's lots of questions about the difference between 10 markers and 12 markers. We'll cover that in more detail on the paper one warm-up, but the only difference is one is 2 marks. But the word wide-ranging, your analysis and evaluation needs to be slightly more in-depth, a little bit more, not an extra paragraph, just more depth of analysis, more depth of evaluation. That's the difference. Really. Great stuff. Should we wrap this one up then, Jim?
All good. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Graham. 35 minutes of Theme 1, Theme 4 revision. Don't forget, there's lots of other live streams we've done. In fact, we did one just a few days ago on Theme 1 and 4, which is available on replay. If you go to tuesdaytoyou.net/live, or indeed if you go direct to our YouTube channel, you can see them all there in their glory, and even download the PowerPoint as well if you wish. And hopefully those will be useful. Keep going with your revision, and keep smiling, stay rested, stay hydrated. We'll catch you hopefully over the weekend, if not before the paper one warm-up on Monday, and wish you all the best. Keep going, and maybe we'll see you next time when we do another live stream for Edexcel. So see you later.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.